Fuck it. Hello! If you're watching this, well, you will be watching this on demand because it's not live. Yes, hello. Welcome back to the Mind Over Madness podcast. I believe we're on episode 8 now. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. I'm now back home. My background is all my wall and shit. It's wonderful. I'm wearing shorts, and I'm joined by Sean as always.
Those two things are not linked.
I don't know why shorts are important, but they are. There, we'll go with that.
Well, I'm wearing shorts as well, so welcome to the shorts club.
Welcome to the shorts club. That works. Yeah, how are you doing, my dude? How's things?
I'm doing well, yeah. The weather's on the turn, so that means my mood is on the turn of being positive. I suffer with pathetic fallacy. My mood reflects the weather.
That's fair.
But yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Bit tired, rough night's sleep, but yeah, no, pretty good, pretty good. Weird being back in the house. It's been, but yeah, no, it's cool. I'm glad to be back home and stuff as well, to be honest. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be home.
We had a bit of a gaming session yesterday as well, so
yeah,
something you missed a bit.
Yeah, I obviously went off a bit early because I was exhausted, but yeah, there we are. I will be back on later.
Be there or be square.
Be there or be square.
So, podcast today, we've got a little rundown of what we're going to be talking about. So, it's obviously a bit more on lockdown first.
Oh, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about that.
We'll be talking about some of the current news and events that are going on throughout the world. And we'll be talking about games and films.
And the PS5 reveal as well. That's a big thing.
Then a little surprise at the end. Something a little bit different.
Yeah. We're going to try something new. Not so much new, but different.
Yeah, stick around for that.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, if you ever want to suggest anything to us again, feel free to message myself or Sean or post on the Facebook page, which is always, as always, linked down below. So yeah, it's always interesting to hear what you guys want us to talk about as well. Oh, look at that. My Last of Us 2 stuff has finally all downloaded.
Nice one. Oh, I didn't realise that I preloaded.
Yeah, weird. Normally you can't download them until like 48 hours before, but this one's like, download it a week before because you don't want to wait. Which is absolutely right, I don't want to. But yeah, should we get into the first bit?
Yes, so lockdown is first.
Oh, lockdown.
So obviously in England there's been a few changes to the rules. On Saturday, adult single households can actually merge with another household to form a social support bubble.
Fucking calling this stupid shit.
I know. Or it must have made that one up himself.
I imagine.
So yeah, that happened. Well, that's today, but you know you'll be seeing this tomorrow. But
yeah.
So my mum can officially visit her single household dad, and it's alright. You can hug, you can do anything you want. So
yeah.
I'm not really sure how that works.
Yeah, I mean, I find it strange because it's one of those things. Again, it comes under like, yes, okay, you're opening up the country, everything makes sense. People want to go see family, that's cool. But if you're gonna let two households merge, you may as well fucking let all of them merge because it's not going to stop people. It's like
just a family unit or something, like I don't know.
Yeah.
You can merge with your families, but as long as you're not, going out to the street.
It was like answered that if you do have a partner that you don't live with and stuff anymore, you can now move in with them. Although I didn't listen to that rule because fuck the government, they don't know what they're doing. So, but
illegal to have sex or something.
Oh, probably yeah. Like don't do that. You might pass it on.
Yeah, allowed to live with them, but you can't do that.
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, it's good. It's progression, I guess. That's the main thing, I guess. It's slowly going back to like a sense of normality again, and
New normal.
Yeah, instead of shit.
Just one more thing is for England, it's non-essential retail can open again on Monday. You can print them.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was like switching my camera.
So yeah, so all this high street shops can open now, basically. Do excuse me, I'm just removing the tea bag from this green tea.
Yeah, it's just my face now. Ugh, it's terrifying.
Okay. So yeah, basically everything's going back to normal. Everything has to be COVID secure, but you can go shopping again.
Yeah.
So yeah, will you be hitting the high streets soon?
Probably not. I think, to be honest, I'm just kind of following my own pattern of like my own rules. Be sensible. You know, what's the point in going out? Like, there's not a lot of places that are going to be opening up anyway. In Wales, they've already said it's not going to happen. 4th of July is the minimum for stuff to open back up. Yeah. And that's just the majority of like high street stuff. I think the main thing I was like, when a tattoo parlour's opening again, but
Ooh,
I think they've been classed under I think it's like health and beauty and stuff. So they were so like 4th of July is something they've been told possibly. But other than that, obviously tattoo parlours haven't been told anything by the government because the government don't care about that shit. So it's not exactly essential, I guess.
No, not
I guess that's the point. It's not an essential thing. Shut the fuck up whinging about it. So
yeah.
But I think I'm just gonna sort of stay away from it for now. I think it's probably safer bet to just wait.
Yeah. I don't think I will as well. I think I could just imagine a big influx of people going back on Monday, like, oh, let's go shopping.
Oh my god, we can go back out again. Oh.
Have to queue outside in pouring rain. Like, they'll only let a certain amount of people in. You have to be socially distanced all the time. So it's just like, no, just shop online. But then again, we have to shop to get the economy going. So.
Oh, I don't know. The economy will come back. People are like, the economy has taken a huge crash. Yes, it is sad. It's horrible. It is an unfortunate situation that couldn't be avoided. But the moment shops and stuff open back up, it's going to boom again. It will go back up. It'll take time, but it'll go up again. Like,
apparently, after all of these events like wars and stuff, like I suppose this could be classed as some kind of something like that. There's always like a big boom of everyone kind of going mad and spending loads and going wild, basically. So it will come back, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, it's come back from, I don't know. Is this depression, or is this worse than the depression that happened before? I don't think so.
They're saying it's on track to be one of the worst since the Second World War.
Yeah,
but
we still came back from that. It's just patience. I think a lot of it is patience. It's going to take a long time for everyone to find their groove with it again. I don't think it's over. And I think people are like, oh my god, how will we ever recover? Go out and buy a burger, you'll be fine.
McDonald's are open now.
Yeah, go just fucking spend money on anything. At least then you'll boom the economy in some shape.
Yeah.
That's not actually advisory. Don't go and do that. Some idiot will watch us and be like, oh my god, man, cheeseburgers. We gotta save the economy. Buy me McDonald's.
Yes, don't take all the responsibility on your shoulders, but treat yourself now and again.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep yourself healthy, though.
Oh yeah, burger. Any other lockdowns things you wanted to?
I've got quite a bit on it.
Oh, chase.
Well, like I didn't watch because what I tend to do with these podcasts is, I'll watch like the briefing from the day before, so to kind of try and catch up. I got through about 20 minutes of it, and I got fucking annoyed, so I stopped watching it. But they are still insisting if you can work from home, you should. But they're still telling people to go to work if you can go to work. Go to work, but avoid public transport. But if you can't help it, then use public transport. They're still being confusing as fuck. Like, it just, I don't know. What's kind of your take on it? They're still insisting on this bullshit. Like, if you can work from home, work from home. But if you can work, go to work. Work for us. It's like, I don't know. It feels very confusing. Oh god, my camera.
Anyone in like an office environment should really be working from home.
Yeah.
I suppose all these like outdoor markets and stuff they're opening and car showrooms, like, just go to work as normal if it's COVID secure.
Yeah.
And like, oh well, if you can't get the childcare, then you can't go back.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous that they're still fucking. They're still trying to push that message of stay at home, but go to work. Stay at home, though, but go to work, though. But stay at home, don't go to work. Like, I don't know. It seems
put it
very
on the people.
confusing. Yeah, it's one of those things like, oh, we're not responsible for it because we told you that it's up to you. Like, you're the government, help the people.
And then with all the controversy going on recently, it's just a bit.
We're gonna get.
Let's get the ball rolling again.
There's even more shit on that beautiful ball of bollocks. But another thing is that from Monday, in the UK at least anyway, you will only be allowed to protest with a maximum of 6 people, and they're trying to basically tell people that if you're in a mass gathering, that they will have the police enforce them and break them apart, regardless of peaceful or not. I wanted to kind of know your take on this, because I know obviously we touched on this last week and kind of how we both felt that it's important, absolutely important, that we push the Black Lives Matter movement, and it is important to recognise that black people are treated worse still in the 21st century compared to, you know, other ethnic minorities. And don't get me wrong, it isn't just about the black community, but at this moment in time, it's not everyone's lives matter. It is just Black Lives Matter. That is, like, I know last week I touched on it and being like all lives should matter. That is absolutely, I still stand by that. But right now, it is a movement. How do you feel about the government sort of being like, yes, you can protest, but if you're in a mass gathering, regardless of if you're peaceful or not, we will break you apart. 6 people only. Like,
yeah. Well,
do you think it's a pointless endeavour? Like, people are not just going to listen to it, or do you think it's, you know, important? I guess they try and point that out and push it.
Well, it is kind of pointless anyway, because that's been the rule from like last week. Like 6 people outdoor gatherings, that is the limit. But it is a bit disheartening to see all of the people cramped together, like wearing masks. So that's not really going to help if they're bunched in like sardines protesting. And, yeah, the police. I mean, they're all there, but it's kind of a difficult line because they don't want to be, with all the police brutality things that we've seen recently. They can't be on the side of forcefully breaking things up.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there trying to keep people safe, but people are going to protest because they feel like that issue is more important than public health crisis. So.
Yes, I think. Definitely, I think they should protest. I think that's absolutely fine. But I think, as we touched on last week, as long as you're safe, as long as you're sensible, then yes, protest. Absolutely.
99% of the protests are peaceful and they all look fine.
It's just the fucking 1% of bellends that are using it to, you know, cause harm. And the people that aren't protesting safely with the regulations, you are the problem. Like, I get within bigger groups, you get a more noticeable kind of response from the government. Like, if it's like 6 people, the government don't give a shit. They're not going to listen. They're like, oh, that's 6 people. Tell them to piss off and we'll see them another day. If it's like a gathering of like thousands of people, then yeah, absolutely, they're going to listen. I get that the number is important when it comes to protests, but right now, everyone needs to protest, but do it safely. I think that's the main key, is just be safe. Be sensible. If you need to go out and protest, which we all need to be a part of in some way, shape, or form, do it safely and responsibly. Again, it's tricky, isn't it? It's a hard situation to be like, you have to protest because it's important, but there's a fucking pandemic still going on. People seem to be forgetting about this pandemic going on, and I don't know, it's concerning because it's like a spike is going to happen again if we're not careful, and that's where it's like, please be careful for the love of fuck.
Yeah. There is a bit of a line between protesting or not protesting and then being seen as not supporting the Black Lives Matter, but there's no problem with that as long as you support it in your mind and you treat everyone fairly, then I don't think you have to go and protest to show your support. Like, you can do it in other ways, or
you can do it from home. You can donate your life to a number of
in a non-discriminatory way.
Yeah,
that's enough for me.
I think another thing as well is, I know protesting is massively important and stuff, but there's plenty of charities you can donate to or offer help to. Like, if you can't go out and protest because there's a pandemic, donate to these charities. Push those charities to friends and family. Post on social media is a great thing for this stuff. You can push it out there as much as you want, you know, safely from your own home. You don't have to be out there doing it. I know it's important, but again, I think it's just a trick. It's a lose-lose situation. No matter what you say, whether it comes from a good place or a bad place, and you know, people are going to have their opinions or whatever. But you shouldn't be out protesting in hundreds of people all crammed together. That's ridiculous. You need to be sensible right now, especially with COVID-19. But yeah, there we are. Yeah, people will take it how they will take it.
Yeah, it's like a big scale of like things that what's good, what isn't good. Though.
Yeah. It's a, you know, I think it's a great movement, but I think not the time to be cramping together like sardines.
Yeah,
right now.
Great movement. Kind of overshadowed in some ways by the 1% of the thuggery, as Boris puts it. But that's a good segue into our news section.
I still got more, but we'll switch it up.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. We'll switch it up for a bit, because I think we need to break this apart. It's quite a heavy topic, so.
But yeah, that's the obviously the ongoing Black Lives Matter movement. There have been a bunch of statues that have been called to be taken down and defaced.
Yeah.
Groups of people are actually gathering to defend the statues, saying British history matters and stuff like that. Yeah, like where is the line with that? If they start to take down one statue for links to slavery and stuff like that, then you'd be unpicking history and like you'll find little bits of kind of racial elements in every single statue in this country, probably.
I think the main thing to put out. I think the main thing to put out though is no one is perfect. Okay, everyone has a history. Winston Churchill was incredible in the war. He helped win the war, for fuck's sake, you know. But he was incredibly racist. Like everyone knows it. I think if people are not happy with the statues being where they are, I think that's absolutely fine, and they have a right to feel that way. Maybe take the statues down, don't break them or deface them. They are a part of history. I think have a museum, set up like a new area for them all to be in or something, you know. But also, I do, and this is something that I believe. I think there should be more history put in museums or on display in like statues or memorials or whatever, based on Black lives and their history. I think more should be told about what they had to go through to get to where they are now, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we do tend to shy away from it, and I think that's the wrong attitude. I think all history should be shown. You know, I think one of my favourite quotes was by a guy, I can't remember his name, and it pissed me off when I could ever remember it, which is, he was on like the Russell Howard show. He's like meets KKK members and converts them and stops them being KKK members. And I think he said something like, you've got to show all of your history, the good, the bad, the shameful and the ugly. Because at the end of the day, how are you meant to learn from something if you hide your history? And that's absolutely it. Yeah,
that's exactly that. I think a good compromise to this is to keep the statues, but to have like a plaque or something next to them saying exactly what they did, if they were racist, what they traded in. Because we've got to learn from these things. You can't just rip every single thing down and kind of suppress it in a way. Because that's not a good thing either.
No, exactly, because then you forget the good things that they've done. Now, I'm not, like, the good things do not excuse the bad things, of course. But I do think that we do have a problem. I think it's nationwide as well. I think it's worldwide. I don't think it's just the UK or the European or anything like that. I think it's America, I think it's Russia, I think it's everywhere. Is that they don't show enough of the bad history to sort of compensate for the good stuff, if that makes sense. So there's enough good stuff out there, but we need to talk about the bad stuff that happened to be able to, like, we need to make sure this doesn't happen again, you know.
It's important for a lot of countries to accept their past and admit to their mistakes. For example, Germany, they've got the Holocaust Memorial right in the centre of Berlin. It's very, very poignant, very emotional going in there, but it's like feels like they've accepted their history. And
fucking Alcatraz is still there.
Yeah,
you've got Alcatraz, and you've still got the Auschwitz. Isn't that still there now? Like the camp and everything.
People can visit it.
Exactly, and it's instead of hiding from it, they've embraced it and gone, we're never going to let this happen again, but please come and see this stuff so you can learn why it was so bad and what about it was so horrific. And it just changes your mind. Like, I unfortunately have never had the opportunity to go there. I want to, but people I know that have gone there were like, fuck, you know, you walk in there, it's a different atmosphere, you know, it completely changes your point on and anyone I've talked to that's been to Germany, people are like, ooh, who haven't been, are like, ooh, isn't Germany a rough place, you know, you can't talk about anything. No, fuck me, apparently Germans are like some of the most friendly people you'll ever meet.
Oh yeah.
So I think
there's tons of different memorials all throughout Berlin, at least. It's they really accepted it, and moving forward from it and learning from it is a very important thing.
I absolutely think that the UK and America, especially, those are the two countries that struggle. Yeah, let's forget about like China and Russia and that shit. That shit is never going to change. That's just the leaders. But I think definitely for the UK and for America, You know, I do think it's important that we share both sides of what we did wrong, but what we did to change it and what made it better. You know,
Yeah.
it's I think it's just the teaching of things instead of trying to hide it. You know.
Yeah, and it's balance as well. It's like the 21st century. We do need some kind of statues of important cultural figures,
Absolutely.
as well as, you know, British Empire.
Yeah, I also think things like in the laws and the high like laws. So I know in America they've got like the fucking whatever they call it, the document. Oh, I feel bad. I do know this shit. I'm just tired. But they, you know, the Constitution, you know,
Yeah.
they should change it. You know, it's been amended. I think it's 37 times. I think, or 31 times. I'm not too sure on that. I apologise, but it's been amended, you know, and it should be amended again, you know, and there's stuff in the UK laws that should be amended and changed because times have changed, things have gone on, you know, and things have evolved. I think just governments just can't be asked to deal with it, so they just sort of push past it, and it's a shame because...
I mean, like, a little more than 100 years ago, women couldn't vote or didn't have the same rights and stuff, and
Exactly, man.
and black people had separate waiting areas for than white people
That's nuts.
in train stations. Things do change, and things have to change to progress the world.
It's important.
Although we need to recognise our past, we need to change the future.
Yeah, well, you have to be able to recognise the faults to be able to amend them. That's the big thing of it. So I think to slowly trickle back to the sort of question and the things we were talking about with the statues, yes, I do think they should maybe change the statues and kind of stuff like that, but I don't think they should be destroyed. I think they should have stuff to amend them or have stuff added to them or change their placement so they're all gathered together, but also have a section next to all of that stuff with this is also what
the history.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's a compromise that I'd be happy with, and everyone should be happy with.
I think that's acceptable.
Rather than ripping down a piece of art.
And the history as well.
Like, yes, it is symbolic, but it's also damaging to a lot of people.
Yeah.
In like, I mean, a lot of people aren't that bothered because I didn't even realise the statue was there in Bristol. Like, that one.
I'll be honest.
Not many people even look at the statues. But, it's part of the character of the country, so you know.
Yeah, it's all part of what we came from, so it's something we all have to just live with.
Anyway, well, did you have anything else on lockdown to just add on?
There's just one big thing. So this is based on Ruth May. I don't know if you've heard about this. Ruth May was removed from daily briefings because she wasn't backing Cummins and the Prime Minister. This has been denied by the higher government minister. However, Boris tried to prevent two other people, Chris Whitty and Sir Patrick Vallance, many times they've been on the things, on commenting on the subject. Ironic. Later, those two declined to comment on the entire situation. However, on May 30th, the Chief Medical Officer, Jonathan Van Tam, commented, quote, "In my opinion, the rules are clear and they have always been clear. In my opinion, they apply to all," end quote. Both parties have not been in conferences since the 30th of May, where the comments were made, and the government are just not replying to it. So essentially, the government hasn't commented if they've actually removed Ruth May and Jonathan Van Tam completely from briefings and stuff. But it's ironic after both made the comments that Cummings did the wrong thing and they don't agree with what the Prime Minister has said. It's ironic how they're no longer in Downing Street and they're not allowed to work there, like in that area. Do you think the government are being cowards and cowardly and just running away from it to try and escape it, or do you think they're just trying to, to deal with one issue and then they'll come back to that later?
I think it's well and truly already been swept under the rug. They're going to forget about it. And we will too. But it's that whole kind of controversy between the science, who are trying to get involved in politics, and the politicians who are trying to push their agendas, and keep the country united.
I personally take the stance of, I get why scientists and medical officers and things don't want to get involved with that kind of stuff. That's not their job. I get it. But I do have a massive appreciation for those two for standing up and going, look, the rules apply to everyone, whether you're a fucking politician or you live in poverty. Don't fucking matter. Rules apply, plain and simple. His wife had COVID-19 symptoms, and he drove over 250 miles with her, and then another 50 miles to have an eye test at a really lovely location.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Cummings. Fuck off. We all
It's
know
going
why
to
you
go
went
down
there.
in history as like a meme or something. That how do you
Yeah.
check your eyes? Just drive to Durham Castle.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. I hope that they haven't just pushed them out of Downing Street because of them standing by their beliefs of, well, you asked me a question, I'm going to answer it. I think Boris is a coward for not letting his two other, scientific
Yeah.
officers answer it. Personally, I think he's a wimp. I think he definitely is starting to show that he may have had a strong foundation, but it was all built on just fluff and words, and now it's all falling apart. Now it's gone on and on and on.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think.
Which is a shame. But the last thing I've got, which is actually on Brexit, this is the last thing for the news, and then we'll move the fuck on from this shit. But the Brexit extensions that are constantly being turned down, do you think this is now officially, I think it's been quoted as a huge mistake on the government's part, and that it's just arrogance from Boris because he's just refusing to listen to multiple sources that are telling him that this is not a good, healthy way to, do Brexit, but do it properly, do it healthily, so you keep the country alive, especially in a time like just after a pandemic.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's just been ignorant and he's like, okay, look, I said we're going to leave, so we're going to leave? Do you think it's admirable that he's sticking with that and he is actually going to push for the Brexit? Or do you think he's being a bit stupid and a bit naive? Yeah.
Well, the way he's dealt with this crisis, it makes you think like how he's dealt with other things in the past.
Yeah.
Kind of like blasé at first, and then when it gets serious,
The boss. Sorry.
when it gets serious, he kind of hides behind his advocates. But yeah, so it's going to be a balance between him sticking to what he originally set out to do and what is achievable. But he's probably sticking with it. Like he's a brute. He'll get it done.
Yeah.
But whether we like it or not, it's going to happen.
I absolutely admire him for standing by it and getting Brexit done. Absolutely. Fair play to him. I didn't personally vote for us to leave because, no. But, I mean, fair dues. He is sticking to it. He's going to push through it. I just think he's being a bit stupid, not willing to extend it. I know it's frustrating for him, but just extend it for another 2 years. Just
Yeah, it's not the time now to be dealing with that. No one cares about that now.
No one gives a shit about leaving right now. We just want to make sure the economy's okay and that everyone lives.
Yeah.
Enough people have died and lost people that they love. We don't need the fucking economy and everything else to crash as well. The only fucking people we're dealing with is America, and that is not where I want to be. I don't like Trump.
Oh god, that's a whole nother one.
But yeah, we're not even going to touch on that shit today. No, I think one country is enough shit to deal with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got for
There is
news.
a bit more news, one more item of
Go
news
on.
I have.
Yeah,
Completely
go for it.
different.
Oh, thank God! Right, as long as it's not on that shit. I apologise, but there was a lot to break down that I want to get my thoughts on.
Basically, J.K. Rowling has come under controversy.
Again! What a shock! Who she made gay this time? Ron Weasley's father.
Her views on transgender
Ooh,
rights.
okay.
I think she feels that sex doesn't exist anymore, as in like gender.
Okay.
And women are under attack. It's predominantly a lot of feminist
This
women
shit
who have
again.
a problem with this. Essentially, they feel like trans women aren't real women. And like the word woman has kind of existed. She said she retweeted an article where it says women, people who menstruate rather than woman, a different word. I'll read a quote from her, which she puts respectfully.
Oh yeah, respectfully. Yeah.
She said, "I respect every trans person's right to live any way that feels authentic and comfortable to them. I'd march with you if you were discriminated against on the basis of being trans. At the same time, my life has been shaped by being female. I do not believe it's hateful to say so." So, yeah.
Well, I mean, the people that, like, as you point out, the feminists that are agreeing with her, they're the kind of women that would that cheered. I think her name was Lorraine LaBobbitt or something like that. The woman that chopped a man's cock off.
Oh yeah.
They're the kinds of people that cheer that shit because they're fucking psychotic. And J.K. Rowling is a known fucking, I'm just going to say what I think is right because fame and fortune. Yeah, no, I don't like the woman. But her view on it is an interesting take, I guess I could say, but it's complete bollocks, isn't it? It's an unnecessary statement that she didn't have to make. She just wanted the attention and the bullshit. She's losing relevancy now, so it's like any little fucking controversial thing she can say. And no, she's talking complete bollocks, isn't she?
She's talking trap.
Let's be honest here. My words. She's talking complete bollocks, as she always does. If you're a trans person, if you're a trans person, if you're a trans person, whether you're going from male to female or female to male, you are the gender that you chose. Fuck off. If you don't have a menstrual cycle, but you have gone from male to female because you are a female and you feel comfortable as a female, and in your body and in your mind and soul you know you are a female, you're a female. Plain and fucking simple.
It's not like you haven't gone through similar hardships. I mean, you've lived your life in a body that you haven't.
If anything, and this might be a controversial, I'd probably get a lot of shit for this, but males that go to females because they're transgender and they're female stuck in a male's body, they've had a harder fucking life than a normal female. I'm sorry, but they have. They've lived in a completely opposite gendered body for all their life. They can't do certain things that they wish they could as a female because biologically it's impossible. You know, I've got a trans friend who has said herself that she would love to have periods. She would love to have a working womb. She would love to have that system, but she physically can't. And that is really hard for her to deal with because she's not able to. It's not physically possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a difficult subject, but in my opinion, I think what she's saying is just complete horseshit because she just wants attention.
Yeah,
but I think she has some valid points.
I mean, there are people who believe this, you know. There's quite a lot of people who put steam behind it and
crazy fucking women
feel like they're under attack, and
crazy fucking women are like motherfuckers.
It just feel like a little issue that they could just like ignore, and it's fine.
It didn't need to be said. I think that's the main thing. It's complete shit that she's just said because she's like, what? How can I stir the pot?
Yeah, I mean, I'd see if she has some merit in regards to the 1% of trans women who, you know, one day he's John, then he wakes up as G. Yeah. But yeah, like that kind of back and forth. But the 99% of people who genuinely transition, I don't think she has any point to say what she has said about that.
I think, to be honest, for the entire spectrum for me of like gender and things like that, I could not give less of a shit. If I have a friend that goes, I'm non-binary, whatever, couldn't care. Like, that's your choice, that's your life. I don't love you or care about you any less. You are who you are. If someone's a transgender, I don't care. I don't love you any less. I don't care about you any less. For me, I personally don't get non-binary. How the fuck can you not have a gender? It makes no sense. But that's my opinion. I'm not going to turn to someone that goes, I'm non-binary, and go, you're wrong. Like, that's not how it works. If they feel non-binary, they're non-binary. That's how I have my opinions. Doesn't fucking impact their life, and what they feel they are doesn't impact my life. So why the fuck should I blow it out of proportion? You know, that's how it should work. That's opinions. You know, you shouldn't fucking push your opinions on other people. And this is what J.K. Rowling keeps fucking doing. Dumbledore's gay. He was fucking, you know, Harry Potter's a transgender. Like, the shit that comes out of this woman's mouth. Don't get it. A lot
of the Harry Potter cast, like Daniel Radcliffe and stuff, have come out against her.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame because she's such a talented writer. But I think as time has gone on, I think she loved the fame and attention. And I think after she lost it, it's just any way she can get it. I could be wrong. I'd love to be proven wrong. But that's how I see her now, because that's all she ever does, is just controversial shit to get attention. Yeah.
Rowling has received intense criticism ever since she tweeted this. She's being called trans-exclusionary radical feminist, amongst other things.
Fucking hell.
One tweet read, "Can't wait for J.K. Rowling's next book, Fantastic Beasts and How to Misgender Them."
I mean, I don't know. Right, here's my thing. If she's just naive and she doesn't understand, then she needs to be educated. She's not stupid, she's just ignorant, and she needs to be educated on it. If she's saying this shit just for attention or just to get notoriety, she needs to fuck off and just you stick to your writing. You're good at that. Don't bother getting involved in this shit because you can't do it. You know.
Yeah.
That's the thing for me. Like, if she has her opinions, absolutely, everyone does. But as I explained before, you don't need to push your fucking opinions just because you're a known person. Keep them to yourself. Doesn't hurt. You know.
You don't have to use your platform and abuse it, you know.
Yeah, use your platform for good. Don't use it for bullshit. For bullshit. You know. Again, I could be very, you know.
And it'd be interesting to have like a female to speak to you about this.
Yeah, I
on the
do.
podcast.
I would love to talk. I love talking to. It's why I think why me and you have such a good rapport, because there's a lot of stuff we don't have the same view on. I love debating and talking to people about it and learning more about it and educating myself. So yeah, I'll have to see at some point if I could get my friend, my female friend, who's transgender, to come on maybe and have a chat about it. You know, just to educate people and explain the journey to go through it and how difficult it can be, the ups, the downs, every bit of it. You know, I think it would be a really educational thing for not just myself and you, but also people who listen and who maybe want to learn more about it. You know,
exactly. That would be a good thing to have.
Indeed.
Shall we move on?
Yes, let us move on to the game.
Put the world to rights. Move on to games, shall we?
Why not?
I think there's one big topic in this one.
PS5 real. D5.
Yes. So obviously that was revealed on Thursday. What do we think of how the PS5 looks, first of all, I suppose?
So the looks of the console.
Yeah.
Fucking big.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be bloody huge.
Almost twice the size of the PS4, almost.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good sign, though. I feel like, because I've looked at the specs and stuff, and the thing is, it is a bloody powerful machine if it's going to work to the specs they've got. So the fact that it's bigger, to me, means more cooling. It means it's going to be, you know, higher powered. I know they've already said you can have 2 SSDs in it, not just one, which is already a massive improvement. That's 2 hard drives, you know, for the one.
So much space.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Looks wise, I actually kind of like the look. It's growing on me. I didn't like it at first. I thought it looked like a sandwich, but
yeah,
I don't know, it's growing on me. I'm kind of looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having it and putting it there and be like, it's such an individual.
Yeah. I was the same when I first saw it. I thought, it looks a bit like a router with 2 bits of paper on.
Yeah.
But I think I can see myself liking it, and I do kind of like it a bit more. And I didn't actually notice the kind of the V shape of it for the 5. I was like, oh, that's nice too. And apparently all the little details on it are like little symbols for the PlayStation. It's like all the tiniest stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah. And the fact of it being large, if it makes it so that it's quiet, and that's a good improvement.
Or at least functioning.
Oh yeah.
I have PS4 Pro, and that thing sounds like it's going to explode every second.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's more about what you see on TV. You don't really look at the console that much anyway.
Of course, yeah. What do you think about the controllers?
Controllers, they look comfortable to me, and I quite like the. I know they'll obviously be different colours, but the white is quite nice with me. I've got a white PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure about the dominance of the touchpad again. I probably mentioned in the past, but the touchpad seemed a bit of a gimmick for the PS4, and it'll probably be a bit the same for the PS5. So.
Yeah, I think that's another thing as well as the motion control. Obviously, when the PS4 first came out, obviously I had motion control on the controller as well. And the only game I've ever played that used the motion control, Infamous. And that was way back, because that was the can. You'd shake the can, you'd spray it all. And it was a cool gimmick, it was awesome. Yeah. No other fucking game used it.
Would the game have been any different without it?
Yeah, exactly. Probably not. You know, I mean, it was a cool little thing to have, but it wasn't necessary. You know, and I think I'm a little bit like, if they use it enough, great, fantastic. It's a nice little addition, but really, I don't see the point. They could have put the time and effort into something else, and the same with the touchpad, I think.
I mean, rather than gimmicks, I suppose they should have focused more on the VR side of things. I know the motion control actually helps with that kind of thing, with the tracing. So that's a useful feature of that. But if you don't have VR, then it really isn't essential thing to have.
Although apparently, if you buy it when it first comes out, like the bundle and everything, the pack, you're going to get the camera, a headset, you know, everything with it.
Oh yeah.
So I
don't know if they've mentioned that as a bundle, but they definitely showed it all. But
I wonder. It'd be interesting if they did. I know the price to it got leaked.
Did it? I'm interested to know.
I think on a website in America, it was listed as like $699.
Oh yeah, I think I saw like a leak to do with
So
that.
I'm like-
but a lot of people saying, is it like placeholder?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, but I mean, to be fair, there was a similar situation. I don't know if it was with the PS4, the Xbox One, when the price got leaked, and then suddenly when the actual price came out, it was a lot lower.
Yeah.
So it's like, is it Sony actually doing it as like a leak thing to be like, oh, how are people going to react to this
prepare
price?
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if it's that bad of an outrage, it can be like, well, we can afford to lower it this much. I think that's why they've made. What's your opinion on making a digital version and a CD drive version though? Because the digital version's a lot thinner.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a good and bad thing. It's good because in the future we're all going to move towards digital anyway. Not many people are buying physical media anymore. There are still some though, me included.
Yeah, I buy special editions and stuff. I tend to buy.
Yeah, I do like having that physical thing, and the fact that I can resell it as well after I finish the single player story driven game. When I've finished with it, I don't really play it again. But yeah, the fact that they've kind of come out with this digital edition, and it's like a big incentive as to like, oh yeah, buy this, and then you can only have to buy full price games in the future.
Yeah.
And I think if they have it with extra storage space, then that will be a bit of a kick in the teeth for people who buy the disc version.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I'd be getting disc, the normal version rather than digital version, because it just opens up my options a bit more.
That's fair. I think I buy a lot of my games. I think the majority of my games are digital, so it's like, I am kind of sort of thinking about getting the digital version, but then I think, what if there is that game that I want to get and I have to buy it twice then, because I have to get a digital and a physical copy if I want the collector's edition or something. So it's nice to have the option, I guess, of having a disc. So
yeah, I think it's kind of like they're getting to a stage where you've got to pay for the basic privileges now.
Yeah,
it's like,
But I wonder if that'll be a price difference as well, with a disc drive or without one, if that'll lower or higher the price.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be cheaper, just the digital version. It's like, get it while it's hot,
Yeah.
And then when they get home, they're like, oh, I can't play discs now.
Oh, fuck! Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they market them closer to release. And,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, more price details will be needed with that.
Yes. Well, I know they're releasing a lot more as time goes on now, because obviously it's definitely coming out this year.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, no, I'm over the moon about that.
Something to look forward to in this absolute disaster of a year.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot of games as well that obviously got announced that are coming out this year as well, which leads us on to what were your favourite games that were shown? I know there was a lot of kind of indie games, which was nice to see. It was nice to see them supporting indie games and stuff. I actually have a list of all the games that were shown, by the way.
Yeah.
I wrote them all down.
I've got a little website up here which shows them all, but I try and actually...
By the way, I just want to point this out. The fact they opened with GTA 5, that game has been out for long enough, okay?
Yeah.
We don't give a shit. If you want to port it, great, wonderful. Why are you showing us again?
I know, we talked about this the other day.
It's just 3 generations of console. Like, fair dues, Rockstar. You've managed to keep the game alive. It is fun to play. It's enjoyable. I don't care that it's on the PS5, though. I'm sorry, but I don't. And yes, that's wonderful that anyone that owns it on PS4 gets a free port to the PS5. What? Amazing. It's like Rockstar don't need the money. I mean, they earn billions off of the microtransactions. They don't care. But I don't know, it baffles me, because it's like you have the opportunity to show off the PS5's capabilities straight away with a big hang hitting, and you go with it's GTA 5. It's like, I don't know.
Why would that be the first? Everyone's looking forward to
yeah, no, exactly.
But I think people are expecting GTA 6 as well, but
I can't. Now they've said they're going to port PS5, the PS5, fucking hell, the GTA 5 over.
Yeah.
That GTA 6 ain't coming for a few more years.
I mean, in 8 years, Rockstar brought out GTA 3, Vice City, the San Andreas, and GTA 4 and stuff. But in 8 years, they've only brought out different versions of GTA 5.
And 2 games, literally. GTA 5 and fucking Red Dead 2. And fair dues, those games are brilliant. But, come on, it's getting a bit old now, man. Come on. Give us something.
I mean, is it really going to be expanded and enhanced that much more? I mean,
yeah, exactly. They
it's
can't
gonna look
really
nice,
do
but
much. They can't really do much with it
on an
to be
engine
fair.
that was like made how many years ago? 8 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. No. It's you can't. There's only so much you can do unless you completely rehaul the game. Like the game is not going to if when you play it on a PS5, the PS5 could fart. It's technology, so it can't. But if it could fart, and that would take more stress. Like,
Yeah.
like Jesus. But the next game that was shown, or the first official game, was the new Spider-Man expansion. A lot of people have been throwing around as a new game. It isn't. It's an expansion.
I think it's expansion on the scale of like
It's a
Lost
standalone.
Legacy. Lost Legacy was the
It's like a
Uncharted,
standalone expansion for the universe, essentially, I believe. But yeah, what's kind of your take on that? You know, Miles and stuff.
I'm looking forward to that. That was one of the good elements of the previous game. The fact that it showed Miles getting, you know, bitten by a spider.
Yeah. They didn't really
yeah.
show much gameplay to it, though.
No, I mean, it was good, but also
Yeah.
Spider-Man PS4 looked good.
Yeah, exactly. Well, to be fair, if it's anything like, if Insomniac pull off anything how they did with the first Spider-Man game, I'm fully in already.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it.
Absolutely brilliant. Just don't change. Don't try and improve on shit that doesn't need improving. Like, come on, Insomniac.
So yeah, I think everyone's looking forward to that one. That'll be a guaranteed hit. I think it comes out with the release of the PS5 as well. So
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah.
that'll be
That's the
good.
one thing that might tempt me to get it. Really.
Yeah. And then there's Gran Turismo 7. That's
I
a
couldn't-
staple of PlayStation, isn't it?
I don't give a fuck. Like, no, it looks great. The actual gameplay looked incredible. I'm not interested in racing games. I'm not a racing game guy.
I don't mind the odd one. I quite enjoyed the Crew 2 and stuff like that.
Oh
But
yeah, the Crew games look good. I still yet to play them, but
Turismo, it's a bit like a dad game.
yeah, it's a game I used to play with my mum. Funny enough, I used to play racing games with my mum. That used to be the staple. So maybe I'll pick it up. Just play them on.
I'm not really a car person. But yes, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
It looks really good, actually. I was really impressed by like the dimension jumping thing. Like that is something that is brand new that's been shown off by the PS5. That's something that no console's been able to do. Whether or not it's that amazing to be like, oh, that's, you know, I don't know. It looks really, really good. It looks really fun.
good.
Looks enjoyable.
That was probably one of the only games that kind of showed the true
Yeah,
capacity of the PS5
absolutely,
that I
yeah.
had to start with.
absolutely.
The rest of the lineup seemed to me that it could just as well play on the PS4. Like, I mean, we're getting Last of Us 2 on PS4, and that seems...
Yeah. Although I feel like they're going to do a similar thing they did with the Last of Us 1, which is the definitive edition. I feel like they've obviously made it for the PS5. There's no doubt in my mind they have. They'd be stupid not to. But they've obviously downgraded it for the PS4, and then they'll bring it out again on the PS5, and it'll be like, hey, play it with new and improved graphics, you know, and it'll be like, everyone will be like, oh my god, yes! Yeah.
How that'll work with the backwards compatibility thing.
Top 100 games, yeah. That they're guaranteed to work on it, apparently, but only time will tell. So the next one was Project Athea.
This one looked actually quite good. It's like a mix of kind of
Yeah.
Alien and then something else.
I have 4 games in this that specifically gripped me, and this was the first one when I was watching it. Because obviously we don't really see any gameplay for a lot of the games after this now. It's more sort of just like the titles and kind of, you know, an idea of what the game is going to be. I believe one of the games isn't coming out until 2022, which is like the space one, which was another one that I really liked.
Yeah.
But this one looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it. I look forward to seeing what they push with it. You know, it's a shame we can't see more, but yeah.
Then there's the interactive cat game.
Oh, I can't wait
Stray.
to Stray. It just looks cute.
I know.
I'm looking forward to that one, yeah.
2021, that one.
Yeah.
I can't remember this one.
Returnal. Now, this was another one that interested me because it was very much a kind of... I don't know if you've ever seen the Tom Cruise film Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
It was similar, I believe. Anyway,
Groundhog Day, kind
it's
of.
like, yeah, I'm struggling trying to fucking piece them all together. What I can remember, whatever. But this was very similar to that. I feel like it was like you die, come back. And I know, obviously, Bethesda have another game we'll talk about later, which I'm looking forward to, which was very, very similar to that. It's like a die, repeat, die, repeat. So I don't know. It looked really cool. It looked interesting. Hopefully, the visual. One thing I will say about all these games is visually, if they can pull these giant open worlds off and these beautiful landscapes off in PS5, it'll look fucking outstanding.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's a bit of a piss take that obviously PS5 is base running at 4K. And most people, obviously, 4K tellies are expensive, man. They're not cheap, so...
No, it's going to be an expensive endeavour.
Yeah, but I think this game is going to be a sure hit. If not a sure hit, then definitely
I think I'm probably most looking forward to just performance and frame rate increase rather than the overall graphics, because I don't think I'll be changing my TV unless it breaks.
Yeah. TV's expensive. Like, they're not a cheap thing to fucking switch over, like.
I know, it's like, if I'm going to buy a console, I'm going to buy a TV as well.
Exactly. You can spend over $1,000 at that point, and it's like, no, I'm good. No.
But yeah, that one looks interesting, Returnal. Then we've got Sackboy, A Big Adventure.
I'll be honest, looks cool, but not my thing. I wasn't into Little Big Planet.
It's nice to see Sackboy again in a different kind of...
Yeah, definitely.
So he's a PlayStation icon, so I mean, I can understand why they would bring him.
No, absolutely.
Or it. I shouldn't gender him.
No, gender!
God damn it.
You evil man!
Strike me down. But yeah, it looks a little platformer. Looks interesting.
That's fair. I would agree.
Oh, the next one.
Yeah, Destruction All Stars.
It's like Rocket League meets Fortnite and something like that.
It reminded me of a game called Carmageddon.
Yeah.
Kind of smashy, lots of breaky things. Kind of looks like a fun party game with friends. Personally, I probably won't pick it up until it's on sale or something. Maybe if friends want to get it and have like a game night or something, maybe. But it looks cool, but just not something I'm probably going to run straight for or straight after, I don't think.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these ones, as we said, aren't AAA games. They just look like good release games that will be surefire hits, a bit like Rocket League and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, next one is Kinna, Breach of Spirits.
I can't really remember much from this one. I feel quite bad because I believe this one looked really interesting to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a cute little adventure game developed by Ember Lab.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to be one kind of like Inside or like a short game, but visually appealing, probably not very expensive, probably an inexpensive kind of little time waster, with an interesting kind of story maybe. I'd like to see it become like a big thing. Maybe it is a big thing, I don't know, but it looks interesting, I'll say that much. Not much more I can say about it. It's not one that I would normally go for, but I mean, it definitely looks intriguing, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I need to know a bit more about that. I suppose it does look good though. The visuals look awesome. Particle effects like amazing.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But yeah, do you want to go for the next one?
Yeah, Goodbye Volcano High. Definitely pushing the hardware to its limits.
Oh yeah, got to.
That's not a jab at it, of course, but interesting little indie game. Again, I think it's one of those ones. Yeah, I mean, it looks something like they could run on the PS2, to be honest, but not to jab at it at all. But definitely looks promising, I guess. If you're into kind of more, I guess, indie kind of looking games and developers and stuff, definitely keep an eye on.
It also looks kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a world with different sort of...
people who are into a lot of the stranger animes and stuff might enjoy it a bit more.
Definitely, yeah. I think definitely not so much my thing, personally, but
no,
definitely not a bad game, all in all, I don't think.
Kind of sticks out amongst these ones.
Yeah. But, okay, next one. Oddworld Soulstorm. Now, this is a series that I've been nagged to play, and I never have, because I don't have any interest. I've played 2 of them, I think, a little bit, and I own like the Xbox original version of it. But not sort of interest to me. But what about you? What was your
Yeah, I must admit I haven't played any of them either.
Yeah, no.
It kind of looks like a good game with kind of elements of humor and dark humor and stuff like that.
I think it's definitely an ending to the series because apparently he's going to cut open his mouth and actually talk, which is weird.
Yeah.
Apparently, as far as I know, it's a staple of the series. He doesn't really talk; he just sort of grunts.
I know a lot of people will be very happy about this because they play it, they love it. So
yeah,
I'm happy that it's there.
Yeah.
I hope the people who get it will enjoy it. I probably won't get it though.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not one that I'm going to jump on either.
I mean, I'm already going to be bankrupt as it is.
Yeah, literally. Ghostwire Tokyo. This is the next one that grabbed my attention. I can't fucking wait for. Visually, nothing outstanding, but definitely a fascinating horror concept. It seems.
Oh yeah.
It looks very Junji Ito. He's a manga writer. For those of you who don't know, absolutely highly recommend you go out and look at his stuff. It's incredible. Yeah, looks fascinating. Lot of kind of the typical Japanese kind of horror. Especially if they're going to do it like a proper big open. From what they were saying, it's like they're going to sort of have a lot of Tokyo in there. So I don't know. Looking forward to it.
It's an interesting concept because you don't really get many open world kind of horror games. I don't know if it is open world, but
and the fighting style to it looks interesting as well. Fascinating, Doctor Strange type of hand movements. You know,
it's going to be a unique one. It's definitely going to be talked about. That's for sure.
Yes, definitely. On to you.
Okay, so the next one is Jet: The Far Shore. Let me just try and reacquaint myself with what this one.
Yeah, no, I can't remember this one. Admittedly, I think
a rocket fires into space and shows a series of satellites that appear to hold some sort of future of the planet. Hundreds of years later, a small ship flies to a much more vibrant.
Oh yeah.
I honestly can't remember this one.
I think it's like when it was like an actual thing crashing down on what appeared to be Earth or a planet. It was like a ship that was crashing, took the wing off. There was a lot of fire effects.
We didn't see much gameplay or any gameplay.
Yeah, I don't think there was any gameplay of this one. I think it was just kind of like a teaser trailer. It looked interesting. Definitely one I'm going to keep my eye on, but other than that, I mean, there's not much to say about it, really. You know.
Yeah. It just looked like a kind of cool CGI trailer, but I mean, need to see some gameplay. I mean, I'm a little bit hooked.
Look at Dead Island. I mean, trailers are deceiving.
Oh, the trailers.
Yeah.
So, next one is one I've heard about before. It's Godfall.
Looks interesting. Fighting slashing game. But
I wasn't massively impressed by this one. It kind of looked a bit dull from the trailer, and this is the trailer. This is the thing that they're trying to sell the game with, and wasn't that.
It's not going to be one I pick up.
It's no God of War, is it?
It's not. I'm not. It's definitely not one I'm going to pick up.
No.
But
I'm sure it'd be good.
Looks cool.
Lots of work has gone into it, and supernatural and science fiction elements are in there. So
it looks cool, but not my cup of tea personally. Hack and slashes don't tend to be my thing. I find them quite repetitive and boring, but
Then we've got another one, Solar Ash, another one I can't actually remember. From the creators of Hyper Light Drift, Solar Ash was announced for PS5. The hostile world seems to reject the protagonist, and there are mentions of a void before the demonstration transitioned to the gameplay. It arrived in 2021.
Yeah.
Yes.
From what I can remember, I don't think it really gripped me that much. The fact I can't remember says it all. But
this one was a surprise, but it's not really one that I'm too interested in. I played a couple of the ones before, but it's Hitman 3.
Yeah. Now this is apparently meant to be the roundup for it. Now I personally want to play the first two Hitman games. I just don't own them, and I think the second one's on sale right now, but there's no point in me getting the second one until I get the first one.
They had the first one as PS Plus at some point.
Yeah, I don't think I might have picked it up. I don't know. I've got too many fucking games on my console, but I mean, it's cool. I'm glad they're sort of pushing it. Yeah, I actually do own the first one. Fuck's sake. It's definitely, I do want to play through the games. They do look interesting, and from what I've seen and from what I've heard, they are fantastic and enjoyable Hitman games. And it's cool that they're rounding off the series with a big bang and a brand new console, so they can do it bigger and better.
Yeah,
I'm
not a massive stealthy person, but I do like a bit of stealth now and again, and these games are perfect for that.
I personally fucking hate stealth, but the Hitman games have a way of doing it, of just like adding that flair and that enjoyment of how you go about it and stuff like that. It's just done in such a way that it keeps it entertaining for me,
It's out next January, and January, and it will conclude the rebooted trilogy. So I wonder if it's going to be episodic again.
Yeah, I like episodic, so I hope so. I think it'll work well.
Oh man, there's a lot of games.
Yeah, so the next one was Little Soul Inside. I can't really remember much from this, and I feel quite bad because I think this was one I actually liked to look at. I think it was like a cutesy, adorable kind of looking one. I'm not too sure on that, don't fucking quote me, but it definitely looked interesting, to say the least, from what I can remember. But
there's also a new Astro game called Astro's Playroom as well. Looks interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little cutesy game and platformer as well. One which they introduced with the Playroom, and yeah, you can play with the little Astrobots.
Yeah,
it's cool, but a little gimmicky.
Yeah, it's like that thing that they had that for the first one as well, didn't they? I believe so.
Oh yeah, I heard someone describe this next one as PS4 but with extra sweat. NBA 2K21.
These games, I didn't even put this on there, and this is the reason for it. They can fuck off. They do them every year, and they're no fucking more impressive. I mean, Christ, the last wrestling game proved that they need to stop doing these games yearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, they fucked it, and, it's ridiculous. It's like, oh, pay another 60 quid for the same fucking game, just it looks slightly different.
Now they have beads of sweat going down their foreheads.
Now his lip sweats as well. Like,
no interest in that kind of genre, but
don't care. If you enjoy it, great, more power to you. But I find them to be just cash grab bullshit kind of things now. They're not fun or enjoyable.
I do apologize for any listeners who do like this game.
Yeah. Sorry.
Fuck up.
Oh man.
So Snacks is the next one. A charming game featuring a Steve Irwin style wildlife expert.
Yeah, it looks cute, man. It's something I would play with. I feel like I'd play with Vic. I feel like it's something she would enjoy as well. So.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, it doesn't look bad, doesn't look good, like amazing. Looks kind of just like adorable. Fun, relaxing game.
I've got a big one next. I don't know if you wanted to do.
Oh, fucking Demon Souls. Yeah, no, I'm staying well away from this. I have made it very clear I'm not a fan of Soul games because I break controllers. so they are cool, I like them, but they're just not for me. Not my thing.
Very specific type of person likes these games.
Yeah. Someone that likes being fisted up the arse. They definitely are a specific type of genre, but it looks cool. Absolutely, the monsters look fantastic. You know, the game, I can only imagine, is going to look insanely good. So, yeah.
It looked like a Peter Jackson film, I say. I'm just sour.
Yeah. Better than J.J. Abrams, just explosions.
The next one I think we're both interested in.
Definitely, yes. Now, this one, I'm looking forward to. I was a bit worried when I saw Bethesda's name attached to it. But no, it looks quite cool. It looks gimmicky. It looks piss-takey. It doesn't look serious. I think the game kind of knows it's a bit of a joke. So, hey man, I think this is going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
I'm down for it. It looks like it's multiplayer or something. So hopefully, that's one that we'll both get at one stage.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Next one is Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil Village.
Yeah. No, this surprised me, man.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting another Resident Evil game so soon after the previous one. It started with a shot of the forest, creepy stuffed animals, a woman reading a folklore before things got violent. Yeah. It'll be in first person, just like Resident Evil 7, and look to put an emphasis on atmosphere and horror over action. Also, there are werewolves.
Yeah, no, this is something that when it threw me off with the werewolves, because I was like, wait, what? But I don't know, I kind of like it.
New twist.
Yeah, new twist. I mean, they kind of had a bit of a twist on it in RE7, obviously with the biohazard and the actual goop, I guess, that was the actual infection. But it took me by surprise. I thought it was just called Village, and then obviously it was like 8, and I was like, oh shit, okay, that's cool. Bam, yeah, all right, I'm up for that. And I do think, because apparently it'll be an end to Ethan's story as well. I think there was a hint to it in the trailer. Yeah, to close off the story, which is fascinating.
They're absolutely heart-pounding to play, but I'm looking forward to watching someone play.
One thing I don't like is Chris's look. I don't like how they've made Chris Redfield look. He looks stupid. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm a big Resi guy. I don't like the look of him. I don't think they've... I think he's cool, he's menacing, he's evil, but he's not meant to be.
Well, early days, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll have a different change of heart when I actually play the game.
So then the next one is Pragmata, a post-apocalyptic game set in a world where cats are now holograms. Horrifying natural disasters wreck the world of Pragmata.
This looks awesome. Shame we didn't really see much on it.
Yeah, it's another like kind of CGI.
It's 2022 release. That's the longest away out of all of them. But this definitely intrigues me. Fascinating.
Yeah, it's got its little hooks into us, so
hopefully, yeah.
I'm interested as well, so
yes,
hopefully we'll see some gameplay at some point in the next 2 years.
Yeah, the last one to be shown. The last one.
Oh yes.
Oh, so excited!
Eagerly anticipated for everyone is Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah. Ooh.
A sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn.
I've missed Aloy. I have missed her.
Aloy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I've still yet to play through the actual DLC for the first one. I've been told that it is very good and it's very fun.
Yeah.
Very few games that I have platinum. This one, I took the time to do it. I fucking love this game. Everything about it just works. Even the trial stuff, which in games I absolutely despise.
Yeah.
I loved everything in this game. The visuals, the story.
It's a bit like Avatar of the game universe.
Yeah, it just works, man. It's fantastic, and I really, really hope that they pull it off with this second one. I mean, apparently the world is bigger and there's more to it, so
you can go underwater and
I'm looking forward to it. It's great.
The secrets beneath the surface.
Yeah.
But that is all the games that they announced. Wow, we went through them all. Wow.
Yeah. Literally.
There's a lot of big hits we're kind of looking forward to. Horizon and Spider-Man were obviously kind of big ones that a lot of people will be looking forward to. I mean, there's a hell of a lot more that probably haven't been announced yet.
Yeah.
Will be coming out shortly when the PlayStation 5 releases, but yeah.
Any of them that you're kind of more so stretched towards and kind of like that's the one I definitely know I'm going to have when I eventually do upgrade to that console, like
definitely Spider-Man and Deathloop, I imagine.
Yeah.
And Horizon as well.
Yeah, I think Horizon's a no-brainer.
The ones that you have to have.
It's like if you get that, you have to own them. It's the law. It's the law, you fucker.
No. I actually one of them overrides them all. NBA 2K21.
Absolutely, best game ever.
A must-have. Alright, so that is the PS5.
That is the PS5 roundup. Holy shit.
Is there any other gaming news that you have?
I'll be honest, that is all I focused on. I am obviously 5 days time. We're going to be blessed with The Last of Us 2. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. I am looking forward to... I haven't played it just yet, but I have got it downloaded, which is the Saints Row the 3rd Remaster. It's my favourite Saints Row game. So I'm looking forward to playing through that. I'll let you know next week how that went. Should be exciting. I'm playing back... Weird thing. This is something I want to touch on. Have you seen they've remastered the Bioshock series and brought them out again?
I thought they already did that.
Yeah, this was something that got me, but I got them on PC because they were dirt cheap. They were like £2 each for each game, and they were complete editions. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I'll grab it. I've been gaming on my laptop a little bit, and admittedly, obviously this is on a PC kind of fucking PC Master. It's fucking brilliant, but they look incredible. They look outstanding. Yeah. You can tell they've definitely had work done to them, but I don't know if it's worth getting them again if you already own like the Bioshock collection.
Yeah.
Personally, I wouldn't bother getting them again because you're basically paying for the same thing again. So it just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah. They're good games, but I don't think they deserve 3 releases, Yeah. If EA can do it,
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, if they had done a massively drastic update to the games, then yeah, fine, fair enough. But they haven't. They just look a little bit better, like a tiny, maybe a piece of water. There's just water that looks slightly more glistening. I don't know.
One of the games I picked up in the Days of Play sale, I only picked up one. It's Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch.
Ooh.
I
had my
own. I've recently getting into my JRPGs. I played Persona 5, and this is a good kind of complement to that. It's got Studio Ghibli animation. It's charming. It's similar to Pokemon, so that's why I like it. You can catch your little
catch them all
Pokemon style things and train them up and evolve them. It's a really good game. The music is so good as well. So I recommend that to anyone who is a fan of JRPGs.
Cool.
And coming from someone who isn't normally a fan of them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Alright. I'll look into. I mean, I have been tempted to look into that one for a while, but I think
plus it's
for me
quite
it's
cheap.
backlog.
Because those types of games don't really go on offer that much.
Yeah.
So.
They tend to stay at like 50-60 quid. So.
Oh yeah, so it's 15 quid, and it's the remastered version of it. So.
That's cool. I think I'll get through my backlog a bit, and which I have been doing quite successfully actually. So.
And these kinds of games are like hundreds of hours long, so you may want to avoid it until you've got through that backlog.
It's bad enough I got the fucking Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, which are both estimated at about 100 hours. So I'm like, I'm gonna be busy.
You like pyramids?
Fucking loads.
I'd be tempted to skip Origins and just go straight to Odyssey, but
yeah, I want to play through Origins. Cause obviously I paid for it, so it's like I may as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I feel like you are going to be burnt out after them too, because they are very similar.
I think, do you know what? It's weird, but I think with Valhalla, they're definitely going to bring it out on PS5. I don't think there's any sort of fucking argument against that. It's going to come out on PS5. I'm just going to wait to get it on PS5. If it comes out on PS4, fuck off. I'll get it on PS5. It makes more sense, I think, to wait. I think there's a lot of releases, especially The Last of Us 2. I think is going to be a very divisive one. I feel like that's definitely going to come out on PS5 as well. But yeah, I couldn't wait.
I almost forgot to mention Destiny had a big kind of live stream this week.
Oh yeah.
Releasing its next fall expansion, which is called Beyond Light. Brings back the Exo Stranger, and we finally learned about these darkness pyramids and stuff. Yes, and they also announced like 2 years more worth of fall expansions for Destiny 2. So
I'll give Bungie this: they are working their ass off to keep that game alive. Fair dues. Like
it's still very popular.
I really wish that I could have got into it more. I think if I played it with you guys a bit more, maybe I'd find the enjoyment and the fun kind of in it. I think it's just one of those games that I really struggled with. Destiny 1, I just basically played the story, and then Destiny 2, I tried. But I don't know, it's weird. I couldn't get into it for some reason. I couldn't find my rhythm and my groove with it, so...
Yeah.
Shame,
the expansion after Beyond Light is called The Witch Queen, and then it's Lightfall after that or something. Which is quite cool. There is a controversial side of this, though. Starting with this expansion, they are beginning to vault content. So they're getting rid of, like, 4 planets and all the activities associated with them. Because, the game is too large to patch now, so they've got to, delete content. So how do you feel about deleting content that you paid for previously in order to add new stuff?
It's a tricky thing, isn't it? Because I get it. When it comes to games and stuff, I do get why they sometimes have to remove stuff, because, there's not enough space on their servers or whatever. It's a struggle, especially with something like Destiny, which is a constantly online service. But if you've paid for it, you shouldn't fucking be getting rid of it. It's as simple as that.
Kind of release a different client or something with all these things that you can play.
Or, if they're going to remove paid content, release a bunch of fucking free content. But not free I'm not talking about you Bungie little bastards, pay for Shadowkeep and you can have all this new content. No. You should be getting that shit for free. If they are taking away content you've paid for already, there's no doubt about it. They should be releasing stuff like that, big expansions and stuff for free. It's only fair, you're paying for something and they're taking it away.
So you've got to pay for the other seasons as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I guess you paid for it a long time ago. A lot of it has come out for free now. I know up until I believe it's when Cade died, which was
the Forsaken.
Forsaken, yeah. I believe up until there now it's mostly free. Yeah.
But then they're removing half of that with the new expansion this fall.
Exactly. But people have paid for that. I was one of the people that paid up until Forsaken. I paid all the way up. I really enjoyed it. I cried when Cade died. I love that guy. He was the only good thing I liked about Destiny, and then the moment your character speaks, holy shit, I shit a brick. But yeah, no, it was cool, but...
Hasn't spoken since.
Yeah, of course not. But yeah, no, I think it's stupid, to answer your question. I think they shouldn't be removing content that you've rightfully paid for, It's just not fair.
It's a bit like they kind of glossed over it in the stream, and everyone's like, yeah, hype, no content.
Yeah.
And then you read small print, yeah, we're getting rid of Titan, we're getting rid of Earth, not Earth, Io. But yeah, and then they're gonna say they're gonna cycle it in every now and then, so you don't miss it too much. I don't know.
They're not going to take it all away, just most of it.
What more are they going to take away in coming expansions if they were taking away this much in this one? Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. That's the question, isn't it? Unless they're taking out like a lot of stuff now, so they don't have to remove stuff later, maybe.
Yeah, they said something like that, but they're still going to have to remove stuff if they want to kind of keep the balance.
Yeah, it's very, very strange.
We shall wait and see.
Yes, we shall. Yes.
Okay, so is there any films you have watched recently?
Quite a few, actually. There was an old Johnny Depp film. I think it was like something about Las Vegas. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. I'll get it up now. Is there anything that you have for films? While I'm looking this up.
I watched. Oh god! I watched Ready Player One for the first time.
Oh, that is a brilliant film. I love it. A lot of people gave that a lot of shit, but I love that film.
No, I really liked it as well. Great fantasy film. Very meta. Lots of references.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah. There's that front that. And
there's Iron Giant. There's Freddy Krueger. There's Friday the 13th.
Oh, it's so good. It's just like spotting them. It's like a different game entirely. Spotting. It felt like a video game.
It was very, very good.
Like a gaming dream, gamer's dream.
Simon Pegg is the main one of the main characters, because obviously he plays the guy that came up with the ideas and stuff, isn't it? What do you think of his performance in it? You know, very different performance for him.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, yeah, not a bad word to say about him.
Yeah, good film.
It's just overall a great film. Yeah, that's the only film I actually watched this week. I chose well.
Yeah, you did. The film I've watched quite a lot recently, in all fairness, but the film that stood up to me the most was Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Now, a very old film that Johnny Depp did. Basically, the best way to describe it would be one massive drug trip. But it is outstanding. It's very well done. It's funny as fuck. There's a lot of moments in it where Johnny Depp just plays a character. He basically is just, from start to finish, he's always high. His character is high as fuck, but it is just done in such a way that it's amusing and it's enjoyable. It's awful. Like, the actual character and what he goes through is just dreadful, but it is fantastic. It is a great film. I highly recommend.
That's how he turned into Captain Jack Sparrow, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, it just absolutely. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's definitely one to watch. And the Hellboy films as well, the original Hellboy films.
Oh, right.
They're very good.
I think I've seen them a long time ago, but I can't remember much about them. I know there's been a remake recently.
Yeah. But not good. not that the David Harbour didn't do a good job of Hellboy. I think there was a lot of production problems with it. You know, there's a lot of stuff in the actual film that you noticed that just a bit rocky. Yeah. So yeah, definitely difference.
Well, shall we move on to our last section?
Yes, go on. The last section that we have today. You've planned all of this. It's new. It's exciting.
Well, this is obviously when we'd usually talk about conspiracy theory, but this week we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to talk about an interesting topic, and this time it's all things paranormal.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. I like it.
So basically, I'm going to start with, do we believe in ghosts?
Yes. Yeah, no, mine is definitely a yes. Mainly because I've had my own experiences, but we'll get into all that. But what's your take on it?
Well, I'm not really, but I've still kind of experienced some stuff that can't really be explained, and I'm interested to see things that can't be explained and hear about them, because it's a very interesting topic.
So you're kind of skeptical, but you're open to the idea of it.
Yeah, skeptical, but open.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So yeah, would you share a little bit of your experiences, maybe?
Yeah, sure. I've had quite a few weird little ones, and then I've had a few that stand out to me.
Yeah.
The first ever experience I had was actually up in the lane. I'm probably going to get called out for bullshit or whatever, but you know, back in school I had a lot of friends. We were in like this little group of friends, and we used to go to like this house that's like if you go, but I'm pointing like it's through my wall. If you go like up the hill, there's like a lane that you can go down. It's like all overgrown and stuff. You walk down there, and there was like an old house that we used to go to. Used to explore it. It was abandoned. It was pretty cool. And it was just night time. We were walking back from there through the lanes, and it just suddenly got really fucking dark out of nowhere. Like it was the middle of the day. It got dark. All of us. There was about 6 or 7 of us, so it wasn't just me that experienced it. And there was like a light at the end of the tunnel, weirdly enough. But when I say it out loud, it sounds ridiculous. But there was a light at the end. We were all like, I think we were like 14, 15, so we were like, oh, what the fuck, walking along. And just this weird mist came out of nowhere at our feet. And I remember turning around, it was just a bunch of ghost kids.
Yeah.
Fucking coming towards us. So I went, Jesus Christ! Fucking ran. Everyone else was like, what the fuck? And they also ran as well. So it was like and we got to the end, we got out of it, it was daytime, it was fine, it was normal, it was weird. And we were like, what the fuck? I thought I was the only one that saw it. So I thought, I'm going to get called out for shit, yeah. I was like, did anyone else see that? And everyone, yeah. I think there was only one of us that was a bit like, what the fuck were you on? I didn't say anything. But there was a good, 5 or 6 of us that had seen it, which was weird.
Yeah.
But then I kind of flip that and go, maybe it's because I was a kid, it was dark, maybe I sort of just saw it, I kind of played it off like that. The only one that I've got irrefutable proof of, and I hate it because I've got the photo, I've got the phone, but the phone is broken, so I can't turn the fucking phone on. And it's when I went on holiday with my family. I think I was about 12, 13. Maybe not, maybe a bit older, I can't really remember. I think it was my mum's 80th, so it's probably about 80th? Fucking hell. It was my mum's 50th. Sorry, mother. Sorry, mum, fuck. 50th. We went away and we went to like she's going to kill me for that. She watches these. Sorry, mother. We went away for like a 50th. We went to like this really lovely hotel. It had like a really rich history and stuff. Me and my auntie are ghost nuts. We love exploring. And the thing is, I've always been fascinated by it and wanting to get evidence. So we went around, we were told the history, like a kid had died, he'd passed away in a fire there and lost his dog and weird stuff. So we were taking photos of the place, like walking around. I had a beer. I was like 15. It was great. I was taking photos and I caught this one photo of like the staircase and said, I really wish I could get my phone to work so I could fucking show you. But it was like, it was weird. It is so frustrating because people go convenient. I'm like, it fucking is there, enjoy it. But it was like a weird photo of like the banister was there, the stairs were there, and it was like an outline. You could see the outline of half a face, you could see the shoulder, the arm going down, coming up the stair, and it was fucking creepy. And I have tried to play it on. I took over 100 photos that night. 50 of them were just this fucking staircase, and I could not for the life of me recreate it at all. And then the part after it, which was kind of what changed me into believing in ghosts and having such strong opinions on it, was me and my auntie went into this restricted area. We were lucky enough, one of the guys was like, well, this area is part of the old burned building, it never got repaired or taken down, feel free to go. So we went in there, he locked the door behind us because obviously they don't want other guests going through or whatever. And he said he was going to wait outside the door just to be safe. So we went up, kind of had a look around, whatever, and just this dark shadow came up behind us. And I thought it was him. I thought he had come up the stairs to be like, right, guys, you've been in here long enough now, it's dangerous, come on, you've got to leave. So I was like, oh, have we been in here too long? Didn't respond, just sort of walked on. I went, rude arsehole. So, me and my auntie left, my auntie was like, all right, let's go. So we went out, and we knocked on the door, he let us out. It was locked again. We thought that was a bit weird, why the fuck would you relock it if you're going back out? And we were like, oh, and he was like, oh, did you see anything up there? Was there anything weird or spooky and whatever? And he didn't believe in it. So it was like, and we were like, did you leave? Did you come in, like, and come up and stuff? Because you didn't reply to us. And he went, no one's been in. I've been standing outside the door. And we were like,
wow.
Hold on, no. You're not pulling our leg. Because we thought he was fucking with us. We were like, oh, come on now. Don't be stupid. You literally, this figure could not have been more prominent if I had farted and a bunch of smoke had gone on him. And it would have gone around him. He was there. This shadow fucking weird thing, like outline of a person and a face and stuff. It was fucking unbelievable. And we were like, no, seriously? Did you come in? And he was like, no, honestly, I've been stood at the bottom. I haven't opened the door. The door has been locked since you went in. And we were like, fuck. And I was so pissed off at myself because I was like, my auntie was recording, but she didn't turn around. So as she turned, she went down like that and turned the camera off. And we were so fucking annoyed that we didn't get it. But yeah, that's the weirdest fucking experience I've ever had. Now,
Yeah, I
again,
can imagine that.
whether or not that was sort of my mind playing tricks on me, again, I might have been 14, 15, I guess the mind could play tricks, but I'm telling you I saw that person, and that photo is the best evidence I've ever got.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I've not really seen much. I know there's stuff that goes bump in my house, and when I was with my ex, she came over to my house while I was with her, and she actually felt someone grab her hand or her arm in my house. It was like at the beginning of our relationship, and she actually went out of the house and had a handprint on her arm. I said, I've got a photo of that. I'll see if I can find it. I think I've still got the photo anyway. If I don't, I know she's still got it. Don't speak to her anymore, sadly. But yeah, no, that was weird. But yeah, other than that, I haven't really had too much. But I'm fascinated by the idea of it, and I really want to find more evidence. But.
Yeah, well, I've never definitively seen a ghost. I've always kind of rationalised if there's anything spooky that has happened, but I guess there's one event, exclusive.
Oh,
when I was younger, I used to visit my Irish grand's house every Sunday.
Oh, to be sure.
It was a really old house, really creaky. She raised 7 kids in there.
Bloody hell.
So I used to go there and think it was a mansion,
Hell of a one.
So there's this toilet upstairs, and it was all pink. It had like a third pink toilet seat, which is terrifying in itself.
Yeah.
But I used to absolutely hate going to the toilet in the house because we'd all have to go upstairs in the dark house. Everything creaked. It's extremely cold and chilly. You'd go to the toilet, and then all the rooms upstairs would be slightly ajar, like slightly open, and sometimes you'd see like the reflection of 2 eyes or something staring at you through one of the cracks of these things. So I'd always hate going upstairs in the toilets.
Yeah.
I'd run down those stairs as fast as humanly possible and get back to civilization, because I don't know how she did it in that house. It was just her living in there. There's like 5 upstairs rooms, and I mean, she eventually did move into a bungalow, which is great for her. But this house, just got a horrible chill from being upstairs in that. So I'm thinking there's something spooky going on there. Obviously, it could be just the pipes or whatever, or something in the room like a doll or something. But it's when you're a kid, everything kind of gets heightened, I suppose. That was probably one experience that I've had that made me think, oh, it's creepy, spooky ghosts.
I think the only other experience I had was when I was a lot younger. Me and my mum had just moved in here. I think it was like 6 or 7, and I saw an old man walking around in our kitchen. And I went, "Mum, who's that?" As a kid, no, like, as a kid does, like, who's that? Yeah. And she was like, "What do you mean, who's that?" I went, "There's an old man in the kitchen." Fuck, have you been smoking? And I said, "No, there's an old man. I think it's Bampy Don." And my Bampy Don had passed away, sadly, before I had the chance to meet him as an adult. And she was like, "He died when you were like 6 months. How the fuck would you even know what he looked like?" Because I hadn't seen a photo of him or anything. But I for some reason, I just said Don, Bampy Don. That's what I knew him as. And she was like, "Jesus Christ, that's fucking weird." So I've had a few instances through my entire life, I guess. But I'm very much one of those people. I would rather have foolproof evidence than go off like a hunch or a story. I feel like if I want to prove something or ghosts are real or anything like that, it's better to have some form of evidence than to be like, well, this happened. Obviously it's difficult then.
Yeah, I do quite like a bit of evidence now and again to support these theories.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's interesting to hear them, and you can't say someone's lying for what they've experienced. So.
Yeah, exactly. I think experiences are different and very unique to each person as well. Energy is a thing, and cold temperatures, suddenly temperatures dropping and things. That's noticeable stuff. I'd be absolutely. What I would love us to do is next time, like when all COVID-19 is calmed down and stuff, me and you need to go on like a ghost hunt or something somewhere haunted, like spend an overnight in a place that's
I'd be
haunted.
Screaming so loud and
I know it. It'd be brilliant.
Get into the spirit.
Imagine us making a video where we just go to a haunted location, stay the night, and something actually happens and we catch it. Can you imagine? That'd be great. It's just unlikely. It's so unlikely. Like the chances of even getting something on camera is.
You'd probably be scared more by the wildlife or whatever.
Yeah, I'd probably fart and I'd probably scare myself.
Yeah.
So
I'm sensing a warm aura around me.
It's just got warm. Oh, sorry, that's me.
Well, we'll move on to a haunted house case, which
go on.
I've done a little bit of research. Ready for a little spooky story?
Spooky stories.
But yeah, this is Borley Rectory. Borley Rectory was a house that gained infamy as the most haunted house in England, after being described as such by psychic researcher Harry Price. Built in 1862 to house the rector, basically the leader of the church, of the parish of Borley and his family. It was badly damaged by fire in 1939 and demolished in 1944.
Yeah.
Let's move on to some of the hauntings that actually happened there. The first paranormal events reportedly occurred in about 1863, since a few locals later remembered having heard unexplained footsteps within the house at about that time. On 28th of July 1900, 4 daughters of the rector, Henry Dawson Ellis Bull, saw that what they thought was the ghost of a nun at twilight, about 40 yards from the house. They tried to talk to it, but it disappeared as they got closer. The local organist, Ernest Ambrose, later said that the family at the rectory was very convinced that they had seen an apparition on several occasions. Various people claimed to have witnessed a variety of puzzling incidents, such as a phantom coach driver, a phantom coach driven by 2 headless horsemen. During the next 4 decades, Bull died in 1892, and his son Henry took over the living. So yeah, they obviously some strange things going on at that place.
I'd love to go there. I think I love hearing about stories and stuff in haunted locations, and then going there and trying to find something.
Yeah. I guess I'll read this next one. On the 9th of June 1927, Harry Bull died and the rectory became vacant. In the following year, on the 2nd day of October, the Reverend and his wife moved into the house. Soon after moving in, Smith's wife, while cleaning out a cupboard, came across a brown paper package containing the skull of a young woman. Shortly after, the family reported a variety of incidents, including the sounds of servant bells ringing despite their being disconnected, lights appearing in windows, and unexplained footsteps. In addition, Smith's wife believed she saw a horse-drawn carriage at night. The Smiths contacted the Daily Mirror asking to be put in touch with the Society of Psychical Research. On the 10th of June, the newspaper sent a report, said to a reporter who promptly wrote the first in a series of articles detailing the mysteries of Borley. The paper also arranged for Harry Price, a paranormal researcher, to make his first visit to the house. He arrived on 12th of June. Immediately, phenomena of a new kind appeared, such as the throwing of stones, a vase, and other objects. Spirit messages were tapped out on the frame of a mirror. As soon as Price left, these ceased. Smith's wife later maintained that she already suspected Price as falsifying the phenomena.
The thing is, it's tricky because I've seen videos and stuff of evidence of like things moving, being thrown and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I find that stuff absolutely compelling, you know. I mean, if that stuff's real, then Jesus Christ, you know, I'd love to experience that kind of stuff. It would freak me the fuck out, but it'd be incredible, you know. I can't even imagine. But it's difficult when, especially if stuff has just suddenly stopped after someone's left a location.
Yeah.
It doesn't look great, but there could be on the flip side, you know, the way my sort of mind would look at it in that sense is that that person has an attachment to them. So wherever they go, it's following them. But then that's where it's easy to make shit up and sort of ruin the credibility of ghosts and phenomena. Yeah.
Yeah. The psychic researcher Harry Price, he was come under a lot of criticism for kind of exaggerating and kind of making stuff up. That's seems to have been the story at the time, but
yeah, very much like
people
Derek
before
Acora.
he came were experiencing stuff. So
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, if there's history to it as well, that's even more fascinating. There's more likely to be something there if there's history and whatnot. I think my favourite occurrence of someone being caught out for faking and bullshitting is a man called Derek Acora, the guy who used to watch The Most Haunted. Fucking twat.
yes,
He when he got caught out literally saying in another language Derek is a fake. Fucking fantastic. Yeah, no, people who lie ruin the credibility shits, but if there's history to it, I mean, it's fascinating and interesting sort of thing to think about and look into, I guess. So
Yeah, there's that video where they thought the cameras weren't rolling, and they were all like kind of laughing and joking, saying, "Oh, I owe you a tenner, Derek."
Yeah.
Saying Mary looked dick.
Yeah, it's mad.
But yeah, the Bowley report, as the SPR study has become known, stated that many of the phenomena were either faked or due to natural causes such as rats and the strange acoustics attributed to the odd shape of the house. It was an odd house.
Odd shape.
In their conclusion, Digwall, Goldney and Hall wrote, when analysed, the evidence for haunting and poltergeist activity for each and every period appears to diminish in force and finally vanish away. So yeah, a lot of skeptics around this one.
Yeah, I think that's the problem, is with a lot of stuff there's a lot of skeptic. I think most famously was the Amityville Horror.
Yeah,
that was famously known for being a haunted location. So much so, I believe at one point, if you could stay in the house overnight, you got paid. You got paid a large sum of money. And then it came out that it was all fake. And he had lied about the entire thing just to try and get away with the murders. So, but people still very strongly believe to this day that it's still haunted and it's still a possessed place. So I've always said I wanted to go there just to experience it, because I don't know whether to believe it or not anymore. Again, Derek Acorah, another big famous medium who was found out to be a fraud and a fake. I think my favourite story I've ever heard, and there was obviously a film made about it, BuzzFeed Unsolved actually went there, was the Winchester house. The wife of the man that made the Winchester rifle built this house, and it was like all over the place. There was hundreds of different rooms. There were stairs that led to nowhere. A fucking door that opened up on the second floor that you could drop out of in the front lawn. Weird fucking structure. But she apparently built it the way she built it because that's how the spirits told her to. And I find that compelling and fascinating. But then, could that be the delusional ramblings of a woman that was struck by grief, losing her family to illnesses and death, and it's a tricky thing. So I for me personally, when it comes to stuff like this, I'd love to go to these actual locations, spend the night there, experience the atmosphere, and really get a feel
me too. I'd love to kind of research the place, see if there's any deaths that have occurred there, and stuff like that. Definitely. See if it comes to fruition, and what you see is kind of linked to those things.
Exactly, yeah. I'd love to go there with a limited amount of knowledge, and then after leaving there, do a bit of research and be like, did I see something that added up to that?
Corroborate what you saw.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the most compelling thing. If you went in there with no information but learnt something leaving there, that's the most compelling. How did you know something that you had no idea about before? It's the most compelling evidence to have.
That's all I've actually got.
Out of curiosity then, what's your favourite paranormal kind of thing that you've ever heard about that interests you the most, maybe? Out of paranormal things you've heard, because obviously being a skeptic, but things that you've kind of heard and gone, oh, actually that sounds quite fascinating or interesting to learn about.
I'm not really sure. And obviously the Amityville is the most famous one, which is so many films and media have been about that thing. It's always very interesting. I love a good horror film, and so I'm not really sure if I have one that I believe the most. I kind of attribute all the kind of rationales to all of these things which I hear, but there's an interesting little thing here, like Wukang Mansion. Actually no, that's different. Apparently there's a haunted house in Wuhan, which they actually send kind of military soldiers there to train and try and deal with kind of scary situations, and the public can actually go there as well.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
fascinating.
It's an interesting one. Wuhan, a very interesting place, as we know.
I think obviously one of the biggest ones that's known for being very possessed and haunted is obviously the Okigahara Forest. But that's very
is that
difficult.
Suicide Forest?
Yeah, the Suicide Forest. So it's very difficult to go there and do something, especially after Logan.
Well,
but yeah. Alright, to end this on a bit of a lighter note then, since we had a bit of a change in pace there from Sean, thank you very much. I'm going to ask 3 random questions, completely random questions, just to kind of have these little ending things at the end where we'll start having random questions we can ask one another or whatever. Just kind of looked at random ones for now, but just to kind of change the feel of it, and we learn a bit more about one another as well. So I shall ask you and then I shall answer as well, but what's your scariest dream that you've ever had?
Oh, interesting one.
Well,
when I was a kid, I used to dream all the time about my my other grandma, not the Irish one,
to be sure.
basically being abducted by aliens, and then like they kind of dropped her severed head into our car.
Jesus. Fucking hell. You're not fucking around, man.
It was. I used to have this all the time. It's terrible.
Oh shit! I can imagine.
Yeah, I don't know what
fuck.
I must have watched, like Signs or something. I don't know what I watched to make
rough.
that happen.
Oh God, Christ! Mine seems so fucking tame in comparison. The weird one I had as a kid was, I think I've told you before, it's like this weird corridor that I'd constantly be walking down. There'd be doors on each side constantly, they're infinite doors. But then I'd look up, and there'd be this giant fuck-off boulder behind me. And it looked like it was being worked on by stuff. And then just a few seconds later, suddenly I'm being chased by this fucking boulder down this corridor. And then just as it's about to crush me, I wake up and I'm like, I used to have that a lot as a kid, weirdly enough. I don't know why.
So it's kind of like ones where you're like falling down a mountain or something, and you wake up before you hit the ground.
Yeah. It was weird.
Wake up one.
But it was like weird because it felt so real that it felt like now I have like stuff like night terrors or whatever. If I get them, I don't have them that often anymore, thankfully. But they're very, very real. It felt very real as a kid, and it was weird. Okay, next question. What's your very first memory that you can remember? Like the earliest one?
Well, I must have been about 5 or 6 years old, and probably it's weird because I really don't remember that much from being a kid. I think I have much of a weird kind of recollection, but I remember helping my dad wash his car.
That's
so
a nice
insignificant.
One. That's a nice one, though. It's a nice one.
Well, I just remember playing with a sponge, bubbles.
Yeah.
I think I was a late bloomer as a child. My brain hadn't developed.
I'm still blooming, mate. Mine's still blooming.
What is your earliest memory?
Earliest memory? Weirdly enough, my earliest memory came to me when I was like 7 or 8. I ended up I think the earliest one I can remember is my Bampy Don picking me up, and then he used to have this fan that he would pull the lever on, and obviously they turn. But he would always make me as a baby. He'd be like, blow at the fan. I'd be like, as babies do, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And he'd turn it on and be like, hey, he did that. I think other than that, probably my earliest memory was my granddad, that's still alive, God bless him, who has dementia. He used to take me, when we used to go on these caravan holidays, he would take me to this shop that was filled with model trains. He'd walk in and all these trains would be going round everywhere, and it's like, oh, it was so cool. And then we went back there one year and it was just closed down, the place was gone. So it was like, oh. So it was heartbreaking, but it was a really cool memory. It's a really cool one that I do remember. So it's a nice one. A lot
of these memories, they're not not attractions that you've got to pay for and stuff like that. It's the natural things that are just happening.
Exactly, and they're the most special.
Yeah.
Alright, let's have a look.
What is your first sexual experience? No.
Actually, when is the last time you vomited and why? Gross.
About I don't know, about 2 months ago when I had too much vodka.
Oh Christ!
I put it down to vodka.
Yeah, it's the vodka's fault, man. The vodka's fault.
And it was I don't know what came with me. I had three beers and then a load of vodka when I got back. I was waiting for my family to come back or something, and then they came back and I started feeling a bit woozy, and I was like, oh. They're like, oh, we just had a great night. What's your night? I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Just excuse me for a second. And I went upstairs and they didn't come back.
Yeah, no, that's. I remember doing that once. Give me a second.
They actually had no idea the next day that I went upstairs and vomited, but I thought it was quite loud, but
Oh Christ. Tattoos. I can't remember. Probably not that long ago. Probably when I had a stomach bug or something. But visually, the one I can remember the most was probably last year when I had the incident with my health. Ended up going to hospital and stuff. Yeah, lots of puke, lots of alcohol. Alcohol is literally the devil's piss. It's dangerous. Okay, and the last one that I'll end it on, because Jesus Christ, this is the longest podcast we've done in a while, nearly 2 hours. When is the last time you experienced nostalgia?
I probably like the other night when we were watching the PlayStation 5 reveal, because I think they saw like a little snippet of the home screen.
Yeah.
And there's like all the twinkle things, and I just remember that from PS3, and I was like, oh, nostalgia. So
that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. I should have asked Deja Vu. That would have been better. Save that one for next week. Nostalgia. Probably. Christ, that's a tricky one. Nostalgia for me. I don't get nostalgia that often, weirdly enough. But probably the last time I had it was...
Enjoy as a kid.
Yeah, probably the time when I... wasn't that long ago, I was sorting shit out in my room. And I came across... I think it was a Time Splitters case. And I don't know, for some reason it just took me back to when I used to play like Time Splitters with my little cousin all the time. And I used to pretend on the PS2 that I had online and that I was just really good at the game. And he sucked. Sorry, Marcus. I used to pretend that the PS2 was online. I was like, yeah, I'm just great at games. You know, I sucked. But yeah, no, that's probably the last time. I think that was a couple of weeks ago when I was having I think it was just before I went up to Vic's. I was having a sort around in my room and I came across the case. That's probably it. Probably the closest thing I've had to it. But yeah, there we go. A little bit of a change at the end.
That was a surprise.
Yes, but yeah, there we go. So, did you enjoy it, Sean? Was it fun?
I enjoyed it. I felt very relaxed this time. It was very good. I hope that anyone who views it enjoys it as well.
Yeah, so I hope you guys all enjoyed it as well. As always, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, through start to finish. This one was a longer one. We spent a lot of time talking about lockdown and obviously the PS5 reveal and everything, which was cool. So yeah, again, if you ever want to suggest anything to us, comment on the Facebook page or message Sean or myself, and let us know what you want us to talk about. Ask us some questions if you want us to answer them at the end, because why not? Let's add to this podcast because it's great. And yeah, thank you again to Sean for joining me as always.
Yes.
What a beautiful man he is.
We enjoy doing them a lot. It gives us a little safe space to have our opinions and
definitely. And let us know what you think of the format as well. Do you kind of enjoy it like this? I think occasionally maybe we'll do a live one every now and then, but I actually kind of like recording it like this. It's nice to sit down and just talk, no distractions, just nice conversation. But yeah.
And nice to see the natural growing of our hair every week.
Yeah, it just gets longer and fucking longer, Jesus.
Week 20.
Yeah, just I could see my face. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Again, thank you very much for watching. Again, let us know if there's anything you want to talk about, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one.
Bye bye.
I am who I'm meant to be.